Funny, have a serious mental health discussion. Funny, serious discussion. ¿Por qué no los dos? Happy Tuesday, Potterheads! Today we are talking about Chapter 5 of The Prisoner of Azkaban, and we're going to talk a lot about a lot of different mental health stuff. So this should serve as a content warning for any of you who may feel you don't want to watch a discussion about things like depression or anxiety or panic attacks or those kinds of things. If that is you, I hope you're okay. But before we jump into it, go ahead and read that recap in the description below. And if you are new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you want to, you can go ahead and subscribe at the button below and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a single chapter as we reread the Harry Potter series. And if you need to catch up from book 1, you can start up there at the card in the top left. I always feel like Cherry Wallace when I do that bit. Someone tell her who I am so that we can become friends. Okay, first, before we get into our main discussion, get ready to have your minds freaking blown. So, Lupin is sleepy on the train ride to Hogwarts, right? And the kids travel to school on September 1st, right? And Prisoner of Azkaban starts in the year 1993, right? Okay, so if you want to do this along with me, you can, but I'm going to put it on screen as well so that you can see. I have always wondered, but I've never really bothered to look it up until this week. J.K. Rowling is a freaking genius! Her attention to detail is impeccable. It's a full moon. That is the reason that Lupin is sleepy on the train. He's fully in transformation period. That also explains why he has to be on the train. He says himself later that when he takes his Wolfsbane potion, he basically has to take it and then just sleep through the period. I just have to assume that means he can't reliably apparate during a full moon period. So he just can't go straight to Hogsmeade. And if he can't do that, then he probably can't fly either, so no brooms. Pretty much any travel that really requires his active participation is out the door. The potion must be kind of like some anti-anxiety medication that's too strong. He takes it so that he can, paraphrasing Lupin's words here, retain his own mind and then just sleep through the transformation period. Not only does the potion probably make him sleepy, but it seems like the effects of lycanthropy might be more manageable if the person doesn't expose themselves to direct moonlight. For example, later in the book, Lupin doesn't transform until they have actually exited the secret passageway to the Shrieking Shack. When they're in the tunnel, it's already nighttime, so if the transformation didn't depend on direct contact with the moonlight, then it would already be happening. Maybe that's another reason he's taking the train. He needs to stay under some sort of roof. God bless J.K. Rowling for her attention to details and for her ability to research. You know, at least the skills she used to have. And with that, the funny stops here. You know, actually, this is going to get a little bit serious, so I'm kind of wondering if I could get like some lighthearted music to, you know, just confuse the mood and keep the brand alive.
Did you say something?
Yeah, can you play something for us?
Maybe on this?
Yeah, should be fine. Oh, actually, something a bit more peppy, you know, trying to confuse the mood and keep the brand alive. Confuse the mood and keep the brand alive. Got it. I mean, that's copyright. You know what? I mean, actually, it's perfect. Whatever. Okay, so let's talk about Dementors. Such a weird vibe going on right now. You guys know I made a video, actually a pretty popular one by my channel standards, about how I think Dementors are boring. Well, I might have to amend that a bit if I can come up with something better, purely based on the description on page 83 of this chapter. There was a hand protruding from the cloak, and it was glistening, grayish, slimy looking, and scabbed, like something dead that had decayed in water. Gross. Did I say to stop playing? Such a weird vibe. But then later on the same page, J.K. Rowling talks about water again. He was drowning in cold. There was a rushing in his ears as though of water. He was being dragged downward, the roaring growing louder. And so I'm not sure how that will play into any new theory about how Dementors are born. But it did feel pretty familiar when I kept reading on to the next pages. The way that the others in the compartment talk about Harry's reaction to the Dementors kind of make it sound like he just had a panic attack. Harry comes back from the Dementor experience and can't remember what just happened. Ron says, "I thought you were having a fit or something." He also says that Ginny was shaking like mad. Harry feels weak and shivery, as though he were recovering from a bad bout of flu. He also felt the beginnings of shame. Why had he gone to pieces like that when no one else had? Now, I've had experiences on both sides of this situations. I've helped people that I love through very serious and intense panic attacks, and I've also had a few minor ones myself. What strikes me as most familiar, at least in my experience, are Harry's thoughts about how he feels about himself when he comes back. The way he questions how he could lose control like that and how something could have such a serious effect on him is eerily familiar. It broke my heart this time reading Harry think how he could have let himself go to pieces like that when I have felt something like that myself and heard it even more so from the people that I love. My wife has told me that it's okay for me to say to you guys that she deals with major anxiety and has experienced many panic attacks in her life. There was a time when the panic attacks were a rather regular occurrence and they were very serious and very scary. So I also empathize with how Ron and Hermione are feeling in this moment. Not only have they just been approached by a freaking Dementor, so like that sucks, first of all, but also they have just witnessed their best friend go through something that they don't understand. The first time I saw Jess have a panic attack, I felt a lot of things that I'm sure Ron and Hermione are also feeling in this moment. Confused, scared, sad, unsure of what to do, but also this strong pull to try and help, to do anything to help make it better. And in my experience from both going through it myself and helping my wife through them, dealing with a Dementor is a lot like dealing with a panic attack. There are ways you can try to keep it from happening, but that might not always work. There are ways you can try to shorten it, but a lot of the time, you're just gonna end up writing it out. And there are definitely things that help afterwards, like warm drinks, or company, or comfort, or chocolate. Dementors are pretty popularly known as a manifestation of the intense depression that J.K. Rowling was going through while writing these early books. And so I never put a ton of thought into the symbolism behind them. I felt like that work had pretty much already been done. But during this reread, it really felt familiar to me in a way that I hadn't anticipated. I hope you guys haven't had to go through panic attacks before, but if you ever have or ever do, please know that I'm always happy to chat with you briefly if you feel the need to. And take Lupin's advice. Eat. You'll feel better. Wait, where'd the music go? That was beautiful, man. You know, Kev, it just looks bad when you compliment your own script. Okay guys, lastly, I just want to say if you are experiencing symptoms similar to anything that I've talked about here, please go seek medical help if you can. My words are not intended to be considered as professional advice for mental health challenges. I am not a medical health professional, so please don't take my words as a diagnosis or as a prescription. I'm just giving you my opinions. Or if someone you know is going through similar challenges, reach out to them. Oftentimes people that go through mental health struggles feel like they can't do the reaching out because they don't want to be a burden to you. So just reach out to them and ask how they're doing. And that is all for this week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow along, you can subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. And if you really love being a part of this community, there are ways you can support me in the description and on screen right now, somewhere around here, through my Patreon and my merchandise store. Here are some more videos that I think you will enjoy. Your assignment for next week is to read Chapter 6, that is Talons and Tea Leaves, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Happy reading! Knox.